Good day. Our topic is about on how to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of discrete probability distribution. For our example, the number of nuts in a chocolate bar along with its corresponding probabilities is shown in the table, and we are going to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the distribution. But before we can solve the example, we need to know first the formula of the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the distribution. For the formula of the mean or probability distribution, we have mu is equals to the summation of x times p of x. The formula means that we will add up all the answers that we have after multiplying all the random variables with their corresponding probabilities. Next will be the formula of variance or probability distribution. That is sigma squared is equals to the summation of the quantity of x minus mu squared times p of x. The formula means that we will add up all the answers that we have after multiplying all the quantity of the squared of the difference of the mean from the random variable with their corresponding probabilities. And lastly will be the formula of standard deviation or probability distribution. And that is sigma is equals to the square root of the summation of the quantity of x minus mu squared times p of x, or that is sigma is equals to the square root of sigma squared. The formula means that we will square root the answer of our variance. So now, since we already know the formula of the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the probability distribution, we can now solve the problem. In here, I'm going to show you again the given table so that we can proceed with our solutions. So from here, we'll be going to add up some columns for our answers. As you can observe above, there were formulas of the mean and variance that we will be going to use to fill in the table in our first row. So using the mean formula, the first variable or variables that we see to fill in the first row is that one. In this next column, we will use the formula of our variance. The variable that we are going to fill in our table is that one. In the next column, we have that one. And lastly, in this column, we have that one. Now, let's start to answer the corresponding columns that we filled up. We have that x, and for our p of x, that portion. So it means we're going to multiply all the answers that we have in that column. So let's start. We have 1. We place there 1 over 1. So why I have the denominator of 1? Because as we are going to look for the value of p of x, it is in fractional form. So that's why we need to convert this whole number into a fractional form also so that we can easily solve the problem. And we all know that any whole number has a denominator of 1. That's why our 1 there has also a denominator of 1. So let's proceed. 10 times 1 over 10, that is equals to 1 times 1 is equals to 1 over 1 times 10 is equals to 10. So for the second row, we have 2 over 1. So I'm going to remind you that any whole number has a denominator of 1. That's why there is 1 there. So solving it, we have 2 times 3 is equals to 6 over 1 times 10 is equals to 10. For the next row, we have 3 times 3 over 10 is equals to 9 over 10. So in here, I directly solve the problem using the same process that we have above. Then for the next row, we have 4 times 2 over 10 is equals to 8 over 10. And lastly, we have 5 times 1 over 10 is equals to 5 over 10. In the next column, we have x minus mu. And our x is that part there. And our mu is that formula above. That formula is our mean. In order to get the value of the mean, we need to solve it first. So I'm going to show you. So mean or probability distribution, and that is the formula. So the formula shows that we are going to get the summation of the product of the x and p of x. And we already know that we solved it already in that column above. So therefore, we are now going to use its answers to solve the mean. And that is, the first one is 1 over 10 plus the second one, which is 6 over 10 plus 9 over 10 plus 8 over 10 plus 5 over 10. As we can observe on the given solution, we all know that the rule of adding fractions, if the denominator has the same number, it means that we are just going to copy it. And what we are going to do with the numerator is to add it up. So as a result, we have 29 over 10. If we're going to divide this number, the result is equals to 2.9. Now let's going back to our column of x minus mu, since we already have the value of our mu. So our x again is that portion, and our mu is that answer that we have, which is already 2.9. So therefore, our x, which is 1, we're going to subtract it with the value of our mu, which is 2.9. The answer is equals to negative 1.9. Then, for the next row, we have 2 minus 2.9 is equals to negative 0.9. Then the next row is 3 minus 2.9 is equals to 0.1. Then for the next row, we have 4 minus 2.9. The answer is equals to 1.1. And lastly, we have 5 minus 2.9. The answer is equals to 2.1. So now let's going to proceed with the next column, which is the quantity of x minus mu squared. And that x minus mu is that part, and we are going to square it. So therefore, negative 1.9, we are going to square that 1. The result is, by the way, I'm going to show you on how to solve this one using scientific calculator. I'm going to show you the process. So the process is, we're going to type in open parentheses, then negative, then 1, then point, then 9, then close parentheses. So in calculators, there are many symbols that would represent the power of 2. So either we're going to use that caret together with a 2, or we're going to use that formula which is x squared, or we're going to use that formula which is x to the power of y with a 2. So it is equals to 3.61. So for the next row, we have negative 0.9. And we are going to square that 1. The answer is equals to 0.81. So same process that we are going to do with this part here. Next, for the next row, we have 0.1 squared is equals to 0.01. We have also 1.1 squared. The answer is equals to 1.21. And we have also 2.1 squared. The answer is equals to 4.41. So now let's proceed with the last column for the quantity of x minus mu squared times p of x. That quantity of x minus mu squared is that part, and for the p of x, that part. So it means we are going to multiply those answers that we have in that columns. So we are going to start. We have 3.61 times the p of x, which is 1 over 10, that is equals to 0.361. For the next row, we have 0.81 times 3 over 10, that is equals to 0.486. Then for the next row, we have 0.01 times 3 over 10. The answer is equals to 0.009. Then for the next row, we have 1.21 times 2 over 10. The answer is equals to 0.968. And lastly, we have 4.41 times 1 over 10. The answer is equals to 2.205. So we are already done solving the table. But if we're going to go back with our example, the only problem there that we're not able to solve is the variance and standard deviation. So we're not going to solve it now. So for the formula of the variance, that is sigma squared is equals to the summation of the quantity of x minus mu squared times p of x. So the formula shows that we are going to get the summation of the product of the quantity of x minus mu squared and the p of x. So as we can see on the table, we have that already in the last column. So it means we're just going to use its result so that we can solve the variance. So let's start. We have that 0.361 plus 0.486 plus 0.009 plus 0.968 plus 2.205. So if we're going to solve all these numbers, we got 4.029. So now let's proceed with the standard deviation or probability distribution. So its formula is that 1. So it means that we are going to square root our variance. So we all know that our value for our variance is 4.029. So we're just going to square root that 1. So the result is equals to 2.01. So that is how we're going to solve for the mean, variance, and standard deviation or probability distribution. So that's all. Thank you for listening.